Ethan Couch. June 15, 2013, in Burleson, Texas. A little before 11 p.m., Brianna Mitchell was driving home from work when she spun out on Burleson-Retta Road in a suburb of Fort Worth, Texas. Neighbor Eric Boyles, his wife Holly, and daughter Shelby went outside to see what had happened. Brianna used a cell phone to call her mother, and everyone was waiting for her to arrive. Pastor Brian Jennings, his godson and a friend, chanced upon Brianna's SUV on the side of the road. Brian stopped to offer assistance and told the young boys to stay in his car. Meanwhile, 16-year-old Ethan Couch was throwing a party at his family's second home. There were no adults present, and most of the minors at the party were drinking beer they had stolen from Walmart earlier that evening. Despite being intoxicated, Ethan and 4 others got into his truck, and 2 kids jumped in the bed. Ethan was driving recklessly. He sped down the country road at 70 miles per hour and crossed into oncoming traffic. He jerked the truck back into his lane, narrowly avoiding a car coming in the other direction, and the vehicle went barreling toward the ditch. The truck collided with Brianna's SUV. The SUV was pushed into the truck driven by Brian. Brian's truck was thrown into the roadway, stopping in the oncoming traffic lane. Holly, Shelby, Brian, and Brianna were all standing directly in Ethan's path. All 4 of them were killed. Ethan had been thrown from the truck, but was able to get a quarter of a mile away from the wreckage before he passed out in a ditch. Ethan was disoriented, but scarcely injured. Sergio Molina was in the bed of the truck when Ethan crashed. He was thrown from the vehicle and landed on his head. He is confined to a wheelchair, he cannot speak, but has learned to blink to respond yes or no. When it was discovered that Ethan was the driver, he was arrested. He was charged with 4 counts of intoxication manslaughter and 2 counts of intoxicated assault. Ethan's blood alcohol level was 3 times the legal limit. Ethan went to trial in December 2013. Dr. G. Dick Miller testified for the defense, saying that Ethan suffered from affluenza. Ethan was born April 11, 1997, to Fred and Tanya Couch. Fred owned a sheet metal company, and Tanya was a nurse. The family was extremely wealthy. Dr. Miller testified that Ethan's life of privilege resulted in a lack of parenting. He said that Ethan was never taught right from wrong, and that he and his parents believed that they could buy their way out of any situation. Because of his age, Ethan was sentenced in juvenile court to treatment and 10 years probation. The treatment center could be chosen and would be paid for by his parents. In late 2015, a video surfaced on social media that showed Ethan playing beer pong at a party. This was a clear violation of his parole. When he failed to show up for a meeting with his probation officer, a warrant was issued for his arrest. He and his mother were tracked to Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, after he used his phone to order a pizza from Domino's. Tanya was extradited back to the United States and arrested for hindering the apprehension of a felon and money laundering. Ethan intentionally missed his plane from Mexico to avoid extradition, but was eventually sent back to the United States and arrested. Ethan was tried as an adult for violating his probation and was sentenced to 720 days in jail. He was released in April 2018. Family members of all 4 of Ethan's victims filed civil suits against Fred, Tanya, and their business. Sergio's family and the parents of the 2 boys in Brian's truck also filed suits. All of the cases were settled out of court. The Couches have never admitted any guilt in the crime. Please visit www.ican'tbelieveitsnonfiction.com and don't forget to subscribe.